Hello everyone, this is Attorney Umeh, aka Attorney Know-It-All. I'm a licensed attorney here in Maryland, and I am here today to talk to you about child support, but specifically the Maryland Child Support Guideline Calculator. Mouthful. Okay, so the Maryland Child Support Guideline Calculator is basically what the court uses to determine to calculate child support in Maryland. So in Maryland, very few expenses can actually be involved in determining the child support obligations to each parent. What the court looks at are the income of both parents, the alimony that's either being paid or received by both parents, any work-related child expenses, health insurance, extraordinary medical expenses, and I believe another section, which is typically things like cars, car transportation, or tuition that was previously agreed to by both parties. That usually falls into the other category. So that's about it. And this always tends to shock my clients because when they come to me, they always want to inform me about their rental expenses. They have to live in a 2-bedroom apartment instead of a 1-bedroom apartment because they now have this minor child to take care of. They inform me about the gas. Well, gas actually gets included in transportation sometimes. But your phone bills, your electric bills, your food bills, the diaper costs, those always come up. But unfortunately, there's just nowhere in the calculator that accounts for food, diaper, rent even. So that always tends to be a shock. And we really must stick to only what's on the calculator. The only way to deviate from whatever the calculator tells you your child support expenses are is by the permission of the person who is receiving child support. So let's say we run the numbers for child support and father is obligated to pay $1,200 per month in child support. So the court can deviate downwards. They can never deviate above that $1,200 so long as you fall within the income requirements for the calculator. They can never go past that $1,200, but they can go down below the $1,200 if and only if mother agrees to take less than that $1,200. So if they run the numbers and it's $1,200 and father says, that's too much, I cannot pay it, the judge has no right to decide that that's too much. Father will have to look at mother and ask her, are you willing to take $1,000 instead of the $1,200? And unless she says yes, the court has to stick with that $1,200. Again, they can never order $1,300 because the judge feels like, oh, this should be a $1,300 case. And they can also not just order $1,000 because the judge feels like, oh, she owed me $1,000. The only person who can change a child support order or the calculations order is going to be the person who's receiving child support. They can always choose to receive less than what the calculator says they should receive. And when I spoke earlier about the income requirements of the child support calculator, so last year, October 2023, there was a change in the child support guidelines. So in the past, you can only use the child support guideline calculator to calculate child support when both parents earned under $15,000. As of October of last year, you can now use the child support calculator to calculate when parents earn under $30,000. So there's been that slight change in the law since October of last year. And again, so long as you fall within that, so long as both parents jointly earn over $30,000, the court is always going to use the calculator to determine what child support is supposed to be. So keep that in mind when you go to court and you're fighting over child support. As I tell my clients, I know if you're in court, you're not necessarily in the best of places together as parents. However, still try to keep it cordial because you never know if you're going to need that cordiality when the numbers are run and you need your ex to agree to a lower amount. So do try to keep it cordial. I mean, if you can, do so. If you cannot, I'm not going to force you to. But if you can, keep it cordial because if things are kept cordial, you'd be surprised about how many people are actually willing to deviate and receive a lower amount of child support than what the calculator says. So I hope you found this content helpful. Let me know if you want a deeper explanation about the child support guidelines and child support calculator. I believe in the future I'm gonna do an on-screen, basically an on-screen demo on how to run the numbers for you guys, and just so you can see what the calculator actually looks like. Let me know if you find that helpful. Leave your comment below. If you have any further questions, leave that below. And in the meantime, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I would love to hear back from more of you guys. Okay?